December 11th, 2025. The Game Awards. For years, the community had watched the signs. At first, it was the domain known as halflife3.com, all the way back in the distant 1999. Then we heard Gabe Newell's cryptic messages about Half-Life 2's later episodes. We witnessed the surfacing of multiple concept arts, hinting at Arctic settings and Borealis, and we were there when a Valve employee appeared in a Half-Life 3 t-shirt. Code strings, hidden new names, and mysterious comments kept coming back like a boomerang, fueling fan theories and speculations. But a true fire was started by none other than the G-Man himself, Mike Shapiro. In his 2025 New Year's video, the first in years, he teased unexpected surprises in the coming months. The community had no doubts that this was the strongest public tease since Alex, especially given the fact that Mike Shapiro only sends posts like this when something Half-Life related is going on. Things were definitely in motion, lurking and waiting for the perfect opportunity to reveal themselves to the world. Gabe Follower reported advanced stages of development, and later, we saw a perfectly timed Rocket Lab mission named Raise and Shine. November 2025 also marked Half-Life 2's 21st anniversary, and right before the Game Awards, the Pizza Index indicated that something big was about to happen.
I remember playing a game called Half-Life, so it feels a bit like Half-Life for some reason, which was a sick game.
We felt the quiet anticipation surrounding Valve's long silence, and many believed that this very night, the night of the Game Awards, would mark the return of one of gaming's most mythic franchises. But it did not. So, naturally, in the days that followed, the internet was filled with the familiar rhythm of disappointment. But as we all know by now, silence in the world of Valve has never meant absence. Almost 3 months have passed, and together, with fresh evidence, a new hope has reignited the hearts of players around the world. Mostly because the picture that is forming is far more compelling than any one we've ever seen before. This is the story of how the Game Awards theory didn't die. This is a story of how it has evolved. So lean back, grab something to drink, and let's dive into the 2026 update. The Game Awards met us with silence, but just a month before the event, Valve gave us a big announcement we've been waiting for. It wasn't about a game, it was about hardware to run games. In November 2025, they officially released 3 new devices: the living room Steam machine, the next generation Steam controller, and the ambitious Steam Frame mixed reality headset, all slated for early 2026. This little cube, or as some call it, Gabe Cube, is designed to combine features found in PCs and consoles, and should connect seamlessly with the new controller and frame, allowing its user to fully access and experience the extensive Steam library. Everything at a level of performance 6 times that of the original Steam Deck. This definitely is something that could shake up the market balance. So even though during the Game Awards nothing happened, the gaming world knew Valve is cooking something big, as the company has always paired its biggest hardware pushes with landmark software. After all, in 2004, Half-Life 2 helped launch Steam, and in 2020, Half-Life Alyx defined the Index, going as far as helping teachers pour new knowledge into their students' heads. And let me tell you, these were not your usual big releases. So should you want to learn more about some innovations Valve introduced, and the games that came along with the new tech, check out our previous video about the Game Awards theory. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. But since Valve is known for era-defining premieres, what title could possibly carry the weight of an entire new hardware ecosystem in 2026? Especially when you pair it with AMD CEO Lisa Su's February confirmation that the development remains on track despite minor component delays. Multiple insiders, including Mike Straw of Insider Gaming, have pointed to the same answer. Half-Life 3, or HLX as Valve calls it internally, could be the flagship launch title for the Steam machine, targeting a spring 2026 window. Or could it? After all, Deadlock was initially also meant to be set in the Half-Life universe, but in the end, took a different course. HLX could simply mean a new game set in the same universe, like Portal. And let's not forget the hints pointing towards Team Fortress as well. Or maybe it's an entirely new franchise altogether. Only time will tell. With this new information, it only makes sense why they waited and gave us nothing at the Game Awards. Because the game itself was not yet ready for announcement alongside the hardware. We've already mentioned that Valve has something most studios lack: time. So that kind of delay was not rejection. It was Valve knowing exactly that precision takes time, and that they can take as much of it as they need. Okay, so what's changed since the Game Awards, and why is the topic still relevant? Let's take an even deeper dive into the rabbit hole, and turn our attention to the evidence that has emerged since December. On February 6th, 2026, a new update to Deadlock, Valve's ongoing MOBA project, introduced fresh strings in the Source 2 engine files. Among them, users found repeated, active references to HLX. These were not just legacy placeholders from earlier experiments, but entirely new, post-holiday entries. A clear sign of an active, ongoing development. Furthermore, Gabe Follower, one of the most consistent chroniclers of Valve's internal activity next to Tyler McVicker, noted, HLX survived Valve's winter break. However, in the same post, he also pointed out that it's not that interesting by itself. Maybe it's not, but it serves as confirmation that the project remained a priority, even during the company's traditional holiday shutdown. So could this really just be another loose thread? Deeper analysis also shows that development has advanced beyond experimentation. Core systems, like smarter NPC behaviors, dynamic physics interactions, enhanced environmental destruction, realistic ballistics, crowd simulation, all have reached a stage where engineers are beginning to rotate off the project and onto other initiatives. However, this is also murky terrain, as we can read claims that say, Valve veteran imperiously scorns reports that it secretly finished Half-Life 3 and moving devs to other projects. But Gabe Follower firmly stated that chat has misinterpreted things. Whatever the case might be, this is the same pattern we could observe right before Half-Life Alyx entered full production. We can also see continued evolution in Source 2 itself. There's improved water simulation, hair and clothes physics, and procedural animation systems that match exactly the kind of technological showcase Valve has historically reserved for their Half-Life milestones. Clearly, these are not isolated coincidences. Too many things are in motion, and too many leaks and sources point towards the same conclusions. We can see here the fingerprints of a project that has been in active, quiet development for years, and is potentially now approaching readiness. And keep in mind that 2026 is not just another year for Valve. This year marks 3 decades since Valve's founding, 30 years of growth, marked with the arrival of their most ambitious hardware lineup. Moreover, Steam's next fest began on February 23rd and will last until March 2nd. Traditionally, it has always been one of the strongest platforms for major single-player reveals and playable demos. Therefore, it looks like a perfect platform for a reveal we have all been waiting for all these years. And after that, should Steam Next Fest give us nothing, later comes Tower Defense Fest, the Summer Sale, and the rumoured physical launch window for the Steam machine in March or April. The signs just keep on appearing, and Valve has never been bound by annual release cycles. They release when the technology and the moment align. The Raise and Shine rocket launch in December? It was just a quiet overture. The incoming Steam machine will be the real stage. And Half-Life 3 could potentially be the performance that once again defines the next era of PC gaming. But despite all the signs and quiet hints, the community remains divided, as it always has with Valve. Some see the pattern clearly. Others, scarred by decades of silence, remain cautious. Skeptics rightly point out that Valve's delays are legendary, and, as we've seen mentioned before, HLX could theoretically refer to something else, especially given the fact that it has recently been tightly tied to deadlock. And let's not forget about one more thing that recently has been bothering Valve enthusiasts around the globe: memory shortages. A thing thanks to which Steam Deck is now officially sold out in many markets around the globe, and there's no clear date when it's coming back. The LCD 256GB model is also discontinued, meaning that Valve won't be making any new models of that type. This global shortage, combined with rumours about potential restocks and panic buying, set a grim tone for the upcoming Steam machine. All this could potentially mean is that this new journey is just another dead end. Yet history shows that the company's every major technological leap has ultimately found its home in a Half-Life title. The evidence today is stronger and more consistent than at any point in the last 15 years, even more than during the Game Awards. So whether the next chapter begins at Next Fest, or in the weeks that follow, the pieces are unmistakably in motion. So, as you can see, the Game Awards theory was never about a single night. It was simply a culmination of years of rumours and speculations. It recognised Valve's pattern: patience, perfection, and the courage to wait until everything is ready, just as it should be. And even if ultimately it was just another cog in the ever-moving machine, it still inched us closer to the new Half-Life iteration. These speculations and pieces of the puzzle, they might all seem true, but just like in December, it might also just be more smoke and mirrors. Even more so when you consider the problems with hardware availability. We can never be sure about any of these rumours until an official announcement emerges from the fog. And what if in the end, there is no Half-Life 3? With Steam Next Fest opening its doors, and other upcoming premieres, we may finally witness the moment the community has been waiting for more than 20 years to see. But we might as well be kept in the dark a little longer. If you like this type of content, give us a like and consider subscribing. That way you'll never miss our new videos. And trust us, we plan to do more. Perhaps even with some unforeseen consequences. Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. This time, the light at the end of the tunnel may be real.